It is a very, very chilly morning, and I think it's time to bring our Bonchi inside because I think too many more nights like we had last night and my Bonchi will be dead. Before we have a look at the surviving Bonchi, let's have a look at the other one, which is looking very sad at the moment. And that's down there. Unfortunately, when we went away on holiday earlier this year, my neighbor kind of overwatered that and completely killed it. But thankfully, we still have a surviving Bonchi over here, and it's looking gorgeous. We even have some fruit coming through on it, but it's looking really healthy. Needs some work to shape it up a bit, because it's looking like it needs a proper haircut. And we will be doing that, but that's looking gorgeous. Let's take that inside and have a closer look at it. This is the perfect part of the house for the plant because this is south facing and this window gets light for most of the morning. Not as much light as I would like, but it'll keep the plant going until we can take it outside again. We have a couple sort of decent sized chilies in here, and they could be a lot bigger. I think this should be probably about 2 or 3 times as big, but I haven't been feeding this plant probably the last 2 months or so in preparation for overwintering. I will be giving it a light feed today. In fact, I was going to repot into fresh soil, which is typically what I like to do when I am overwintering any plant. But I'm not going to do it with this one. What I am going to do is trim this right back. We're going to get rid of a lot of the branches coming out, and I'll try and shape it a little bit just with pruning. I'm not going to be using any wire or anything like that, but I'll try and shape it a bit with some pruning, and we'll see how it gets on. I will repot it into fresh soil when I take it outside again next year, and hopefully it survives until then. My intention with the pruning is to get the branches to grow a little bit more out this way, because I have got the main stem sitting on the left hand side over here, and it's quite heavy to the left because that's the side that I was facing it out towards the sun. And that was because I was trying to get some balance because it was growing a bit heavier on this side. But we're going to trim off quite a bit of this side and get this to be growing back out over the pot. And we'll see what that looks like. I also want to take a little bit of height out of this. It seems to be growing upwards quite drastically there, and it all seems to come from this one stem. I also want to cut off any of this dead stuff here. There's a few dead stems, and if we take a look at about the midway section here, we can see there's some branches coming off there, so I don't want to cut below that because I still want these branches to live. So I'll cut just above that. Takes off quite a bit of the top, and already that's looking far better. And just a little bit more trimming here. I want to leave a couple of these pods on there because it is nice to see them growing. And this one here, it's coming out too much. Take that off as well. I think that's looking more balanced already. Now it's just a little bit of tidy up. You can see some of the dead leaves and things like that that are stuck. So let's get rid of those. The other thing that trimming it back like this helps with is airflow. You really want to avoid this being too overcrowded and not allowing air to get in amongst the leaves, because you'll get things like this happen. You can see the spores, fungus or whatever it is, mold, and that's not a good thing. It's a quick way to kill your plant, but yeah, you can see, not good. But that kind of happens because of too much humidity, and with no airflow, that's gonna happen. I do miss growing my chilies at the end of the season, but it's good to have a break as well. And at least I have this little guy to keep me going during this colder period. And very soon it'll be time to start seeds for 2023 and get excited for that. But this plant is looking so much better than it was before, less unruly, a little bit more shape. Next season, when spring comes along, I'll be taking it outside again and we'll film a little bit more and see how it's done during the winter. Until then, thank you so much for watching and stay spicy.